Hey, hello, Becky Plotz here for the Choose on Purpose podcast. And today we get to do a live recording discussing our monthly theme inside of the OP community, which is Vision Unleashed. And I'm joined by one of our members currently to be able to share in the conversation, Carol Rudd. Carol, thanks for jumping in and joining me in the conversation today. How you doing?
Very good. I'm very glad to be here.
Yay! Super excited to see your face. We're going to talk about Vision Unleashed. And Carol, I think that you've been talking a little bit about this. Were you in the planning session for this month?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been having some and heart to heart, I think. So we've had some dialogue already around the theme of Vision Unleashed, and I wanted to just kind of have discussion around, the clarity of our vision, because to unleash it, right, we have to know what that is and have, some clarity around it. So what would you say, Carol, is, really, what would you say is like the significance of knowing your vision and like how that has supported you, like the clarity of it?
So
Talk about your vision.
my vision this year is really focused around health, number one, relationship, number two, and service, number three. So those are my three core vision goals. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
Either way, my
do you have
health
a word?
What was?
You
Determined
have
is
a
my word. I'm determined.
determined is your word. That's maybe a good question to ask right away, right? Thinking about vision, if someone has picked a word for the year, that's kind of like, in my mind at least, the word that we've picked to focus on is like our guiding vision of what we're kind of moving through the year with. So you're determined in those three areas. Is that what you were saying?
I'm determined to build healthy eating habits, healthy sleeping habits, exercise habits. I'm determined to release the weight, and I'm also determined to love my husband more.
That's awesome. So have you taken time to plan, like to think about and give space to what that actually looks like healthy sleep? What is that for you and your body? Do you know those breakdowns?
Yes, my goal, and I don't always get it, is for sure 8 hours, right?
Okay.
Um, thanks to Colbert, it's later than I like because I like to watch the beginning part of Colbert, Stephen Colbert.
Oh,
He's really funny, and he has such cool perspectives on things. So, try to get to bed by 11, and
okay.
then I might set the alarm for 8 even,
Yeah.
and that would be 9 hours. So I pushed the envelope a little farther.
Well, I love that you've obviously given thought to, these are the three areas. Now the next step is, okay, great. Defining those things for yourself in what your vision is so that, you know, it actually can happen and you can become the person that you're really focused on, which is healthier in these areas of your life, building that.
Mhm.
I like that. My word for and I shifted. I'm instead of doing a calendar year, I'm doing my birthday to birthday with a focus. And my 36th year on earth is focused around strengthening. And so I'm strengthening my leadership. I'm strengthening the connections and collaborations. And actually, I'm putting focus to strengthening partnerships and building those collaborations to, the whole idea that we're stronger together. That's my belief, that we are stronger together. And how can I strengthen those connections and those bonds in my life so that our businesses can continue to thrive and grow, with purpose, doing it together, having strength in that. So strengthening is a guiding principle for me of like how I'm moving through each month. So obviously for January, thinking about my vision unleashed, how do I strengthen that, to be more recognized, more impactful for the people that, hear about it.
Mhm.
So that's
Okay.
my word. Yeah. Um, and then so something kind of fun too. I drew a card. Well, I tried to draw a card this morning and 3 came out, but I'm gonna just share one of them because it has my word in it for the year. Super fun.
Awesome.
So this is the Super Attractor card deck from Gabrielle Bernstein. And so they're just like affirmation cards. And this one says, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. And it's a pretty card with like all these different hands and some greenery and yeah, strengthen right in there. I was like, oh, that's fun. That's always a great God wink right there.
Yes, yes, it is.
Uh, inner sense of quiet. That's always a great reminder for me.
Yeah. I struggle to have that at times. I have to really
Yeah.
plan for it.
Well, yeah. And I love that you're focusing on sleep because I believe that's definitely a piece of that for myself as well, is, strengthening my morning and evening routines and rituals that I know that when I choose to do the things that serve my body, which is getting more rest, having more nutrition, all of those things, having more hydration. I'm always drinking water, but always looking at those key factors for myself and um sleep. And the quiet part of that is the preparation,
Mhm.
the actual routine. So you saying, you watch that show and that gets you, has these funny things and these interpretations. That's part of your routine that you have before you might go to bed.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. But I
yeah.
also, I have so many other, like, I enlisted my sister who wants to
Okay.
lose weight. So we have a accountability Friday that
Nice.
we talked about our goals and we talked last Friday and I said, we're gonna have it written down. This next Friday, we're gonna have written down exactly what we're going to do. And then also a win in the last week. So
Yeah.
that's my format for our weekly check-ins.
I love
You know,
that.
a win, what we, rather than belly aching about what we didn't do.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Definitely. Well, I know you know this, Carol, right? We always start in a celebration, and that's because we know
That's
that
where I
when
got
we
it from.
yeah. Yeah, well, when you go into energy for 17 seconds, like
Mhm.
literally it only takes 17 seconds to really be in the energy and continue that momentum. So starting out with the win, starting out with the victory, starting out with the celebration, propels your conversation with your sister that much further in a positive direction that, you can transform through your accountability because you're setting it up in a intentional way of like guiding it.
Yep.
So, and I love that you're talking about writing down the goals, right? Writing those things down. Because when we see them, right, we believe them more. I know that's true for me. When I see things, like when I have proof in front of me that I'm making progress on something, tracking it or, writing out what I'm grateful for in a situation, like those things to me are um like proof that it's making a difference, that I'm feeling something as well as taking action. Because even when I don't feel like it and I take the action, that's celebration towards what we say we want in the long run, even if we don't feel like doing it. So those celebrations are really important, and writing them down so that you can remind yourself on the days that, you might feel like you're not winning as much.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. So I love that we're talking about like accountability support. So I think that that's a really key thing with, whatever our vision is, that the support of community, the support of other um, people that are here to empower your path. I think that that's a nourishing way to look at our vision as we're sharing it, we're unleashing it, we're letting it out, we're releasing it. Um, and I like that you're picking how you're doing that and with who. So was that super intentional or did that just kind of happen for you?
It kind of was like I was talking about my goals with my sister, and she says, "Oh, I need to lose weight too." And I'm like, "Well, let's do it." It was just kind of spontaneously sprung out of the conversation. Let's do an accountability. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm in." So
That's awesome.
I'm
So
unstable. Oh no.
you're unstable. Just your connection. Just your connection is unstable.
Oh, okay. Shoo. I was worried there for a second.
You're good. You're solid.
I am.
I love it.
I am.
I love it. Well, I think thinking about accountability partners, OP for encouraging accountability to get your whatever you want to focus on done, as well as like mentorship or the way that we collaborate with other people. That really is a way to foster our successes because we're also getting energized by hearing other people doing the thing, right? You talking about it sparked your sister to share with you that she had this intention, that she has this desire to do something similar, do something, right alongside of you. And they look different, but the result is that you both could use accountability to get the things moving and hopefully done, right? And completed. So that's
Yeah.
fostering the success and asking for, support in that is really key. That's a big thing. I think that more of us can learn from is how can we, enroll people in our vision more and ask for that support.
That's interesting because it's like, you want to keep sometimes in my brain, it's like, oh, if I fail, I don't want anybody to know because if I fail, kind of mentality.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enroll.
And
I
that's
like
such
that word
a,
enroll.
yeah. Yeah. I think, I mean, for sure. And I hear what you're saying with, feeling like, oh, but if I say it out loud and then it doesn't happen, what gets thought about? What do people think about me? And, the situation and all those things. And what really ends up happening, and I'm so excited that I get to say this for myself too, because I'm in that right now, to say, what actually happens, Carol, is that people get inspired. People get inspired by us doing the thing, even if there's quote unquote failure or stalls, derailing or detours, as we love to talk about car analogies, as if there's detours on our journey, which there are always, always at some level. They might be a rest stop or a stop sign or a red light, but it does change and grow from there, right? So when we have those things, we get to decide to keep going and decide, if it's still the right path for us. So I love enrolling people on the vision, like thinking about that, because when we share about it, it is, a risk, so to say. It is a chance to um, have some accountability by saying it out loud. But it also, again, it goes back to thinking about what if you didn't say that to your sister, that was what your focus was and what your intention was and your vision of where you're focusing for your health. Right? That would miss the opportunity for her to say, "Ooh, me too." I want
Exactly.
to, I need that as well. And now you guys get this extra time together. Was that something, I mean, I'm just guessing, maybe you meet all the time
No,
and
no, I
yeah,
don't, we don't communicate very often. And so it was just over
okay.
the holidays. And I called her for New Year's and was talking about my New Year's plans. And so normally we don't call that often. So it's like, it's going to be great to connect that often.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, see how like now in this conversation, I'm what I'm hearing, right? Connection. I'm all about the connection and strengthening the connection. So when I show up more to connect with, when I show up more to share um my vision being unleashed in the way that I, desire things to happen in my life, I am opening up connection with other people to see how my vision aligns with their vision. I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. That's cool. So for the podcast listeners, like, what is your vision? And are you enrolling people to support you and give you encouraging accountability to achieve those successes, those goals, those aspirations that we have on our hearts? Like, who are you enrolling to support you? And are you giving the opportunity for people to even know about it? Which means, are you talking about it? Are you sharing the vision with people that you want to learn more about it, or could possibly be someone to support your journey with you? So I think that's super important to think about. If you're not yet, then do that. And if you're looking for a supportive space, then you need to come check out our open house week happening January 15th through the 19th. There will be information in the show notes for you to click and see if there's a time in there that you want to jump in and experience one of our action hours to support you in celebrating your progress, your wins, and setting those intentions of what do you want to go focus on for 40 minutes, and have time in community to celebrate the progress or the completion of whatever you put your intention to be. So this is a great opportunity for you to come and share what your vision is, as well as your intentions for a very specific time frame to have accountability and support along the way. So join us for that. And Carol, let's talk about the value of aligning our personal values, right? And our passion with, more of a professional mission. So do you have a professional focus for this year, or is yours all personal?
Um, I would say mostly personal, because my health will give me more energy to do the things that I want to do in service to the community. So whether that's going to be my writing of a book, I don't know yet. I still have that on the back burner. It's not gone away. It's just simmering.
Yeah, Carol,
I'll use a cooking analogy.
there
It's
you go.
simmering in a pot.
It is almost lunchtime. No.
Yeah.
So Carol, for the listeners, share a little bit about where you're at this year from, like, your journey. So a little bit more about your professional side and where you're at right now.
Okay. I recently retired last year, this time. Last year, I retired my business of 20 years, Healing Choices Oasis. I was a massage therapist, Qigong instructor, and I offered programs for adults and kids with breathing problems. So, wanting to continue, my heart still says I want to support people with breathing problems because I'm one of them. And I want to especially support children and make sure that they understand that they can be whoever they want to be with asthma or with any other kind of challenge. It doesn't have to be asthma, but my book will be A Girl Like Me, and it's talking about a girl and empowering her to live her best life. So, but meanwhile, my health has kind of not deteriorated, but not gotten any better. And I know I need to make changes in my life to make that happen. So, my focus this first part of this year for sure is releasing weight, improving my strength and flexibility. I'm going to take up a drumming class. That's the other thing.
Ooh,
I
fun.
absolutely love drumming. I just did it once, and it was like an hour of beating on an exercise ball with drum sticks. And it was fun. It's music. It was like, oh, it was so much fun. So I'm definitely going to be doing that as part of my weight release, and exercise goals and a strength class. And yeah, so.
Well, even that's such a great example, Carol, of, you know, the breathing and the following, knowing that you have any amount of challenges, right? And still being able to, um, you know, tell yourself that you can do these things, versus I have this issue and it's stopping me from living the life that I want to do, like drumming. I mean, that takes exertion to do those things. So great example of, your personal values and beliefs really getting into play with where you're at right now, but obviously through your work as well.
Yeah, well, I've had a longstanding, my statement has been, I'm gonna live to be 100 in good health. And so I've been allowing my health to not be as good as I'd like it to be. So now I'm choosing to change that and get it back to where I want it to be so I can play pickleball again.
Yeah, I love it. Pickleball. The drumming just sounds so high energy and high vibes. That just sounds super fun. I've
It
never
is.
done it.
Well, you
No.
have to get a little older to go to the senior center to do it. No.
Oh, it's at the senior center. That's great.
Yes, yes.
I love it. I love it. So you're not playing pickleball, but that's another one that you're
Mhm.
working to get back in your with your vision is getting active with your pickleball again.
Yep.
Very cool. I love that. So with our values, is there any other values that you know for yourself with your vision of doing the books? And I mean, empowerment comes to mind with everything that you do as well, but is there any a value that comes to mind that you saw as like a thread between your 20 years as a massage therapist and qigong and now with, the vision of the book and all of those things?
I've always worked in the service industry as a respiratory therapist, as a massage therapist. And
Yeah.
I would say service to my community is huge. And I want to have the energy to do those things as well. You know, active in my church. I'm active on a couple different boards, environmentally focused, justice focused, things like that. So those are my core values.
Yeah.
We need to keep the planet alive and we need to be like, I was just had a dot connect and she's starting a kindness challenge, a 5-day kindness challenge in May. And I'm like, yeah, we need that in the world. There's so much things we need in the world that to change the world, we need people stepping up.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a great example saying that she's starting it, you know, because I mean, sometimes that's the most challenging step for people is getting started on something. They're like, yeah, but isn't everyone, isn't somebody already doing a kindness challenge? Isn't someone already doing these things? Sometimes we think, well, someone else will do it. And taking the initiative, I think is such a great, takeaway for me and what you're sharing of, okay, if my intention is to live to be however long, right? You said 100, mine's 120. Mine's 120. Vibrant, healthy life or longer.
Mhm.
And when we have that intention, right, then we can reverse engineer our vision of, okay, great. Well, how do we succeed to do that thing and get to that point and become the person that does live to be that long or completes that challenge or whatever, fill in the blank, whatever your vision is for this year specifically, we'll say, thinking about the new year and
Mhm.
where we're looking to bring our vision out in. Yeah. I think that um having the accountability, having the roadmap, so to say, like the idea of how are you going to do it? Like you've talked about your classes that you're focused on doing. You've talked about your accountability with your sister. Um, is there any other like clear goals that you want to share, or the like intention of your roadmap on how you're going to get there that you want to share?
Um, well, the one that's the most challenging for me is taking that. I'm determined to be more in control of my food. I'm not going to be um, unmindful of it. I'm going to make time to be more mindful, to make healthier choices, and not give up on myself because that's ends up ultimately what happens is, and that's where the discipline comes in. I'm going to hold, you say unleash of it. I'm going to leash myself to the fact that I'm going to be accountable to myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, because I'm the first one to give up when it comes to like sweets. but I haven't had any sweets since January 1.
Yeah,
So,
you're choosing to, stay
Yeah.
away from it.
mhm,
I love it.
and be determined about it and not just, the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I love that your word is determined too, because well, tell me what determined means for you.
Determined means don't quit. Determined means don't give up on yourself. Determined means make the choices intentionally. Okay. Maybe it
Mhm.
means to be strong.
Yeah.
I think I looked it up and I don't remember, but yeah,
Yeah.
those are my determined.
Yeah.
Determined means I'm gonna not quit. I'm gonna stay the course.
There you go. I'm going to stay the course. Right. Because what we know is that when we put a negative in there, like not what we're not going to do, our brain blanks that out and all it hears is I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
So I love that you completed it by saying, I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to stay the
Stay
course.
true and I'm gonna stay strong and I'm gonna stay committed. And I'm determined to do that.
I love that. I believe you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I think that you're welcome. I think there's I'm really on this process of unleashing the vision of having a program that is confidence in action, mastermind and retreat. And it's really about supporting community builders, speakers, authors, those female leaders that are really ready to be seen, be heard, and known for the impact that they're making with, photography, communication. So that is writing or podcasting and speaking. And then with the growth community on purpose with purpose. And part of that vision is being able to um, give that encouraging accountability, give that space for women to share what they what's on their heart and how there's challenges that come up along the way of our vision that we aren't on the plan. Right, they're definitely unplanned, and they are there to grow us. They're there for us to learn from them. And the intention is that this container, so to say, is a space for these women to grow and learn from one another as a mastermind, and to be to be more self-led, bringing those challenges to the table and then allowing ourselves to receive the support that we truly need, which a lot of times is, for me, it's been like self-compassion and, giving myself the extra space to take care of myself and do things that will support my mental health and my physical health more than getting it done, whatever it is. And my vision is for that to be a rinse and repeat process that I really hone in and support women with, that I do that twice a year. And it includes the retreat so that I can get in person with the people that I work with, because you know this about me, Carol. I love virtual, and I first and foremost always want to be able to hug you. So getting that in-person aspect to my programs and the community level and all those things is very important to my core values for connection, on that real heart-led level. So that is a huge part of my vision for this year, is strengthening my vision as a whole and just letting that be more known, how important that is for me. So yeah, I think that, what was that?
I said, awesome.
Awesome. And then the other side of that is just looking at strengthening collaborations and partnerships with the OP community. I'm looking at how to support more community builders like myself, more coaches, that have a community that they're doing all the things too, and their people need more accountability and support. I want to talk to them about coming into having this virtual space be a support to their people as a part of their like top packages with their clients so that they can come in, have encouraging accountability and support, um, and then have the space to do the work that these coaches are giving their people, that they don't have to sit there and hold hand and be there for them in that way, but that we collaborate and that we're stronger together in the way that we can collaborate our communities on a higher level. So those are the two big things that I'm focused on this year, with strengthening in the OP community and being very intentional and on purpose with um, the connections and collaborations that go along with those things. So, this podcast is one of those things, that one of those avenues, one of those resources that will continue to get stronger with the dialogue and the interactions that we have in the community for this call, but then also the guests that come on the show, and hearing what everybody else's visions are and how they're choosing to intentionally bring that to the world, and their heart behind that. That's my intention, is for people to share their story about, why is that your heart vision? Why is that there for you? Talk about your story, because that's how we relate to one another and really get to see kind of behind the scenes of why do we do the things that we do, and how can we, support each other in bringing that out more, which to me is the unleashed part of the discussion. So, Carol, is there anything you'd like to say with wrapping up our topic of Vision Unleashed for the time?
I'd say we're both unleashed.
Oh yeah, I love it. You were unleashed.
We are both unleashed.
We are unleashed.
Yes.
I love it. I love it so much. So, wow, women. No. Very good. Well, I wanna thank you, Carol, for having some discussion around your vision, being willing to share on the Choose on Purpose podcast, and having this extra time with you was delightful. I want to encourage everyone to think about your vision, think about these aspects for yourself, and let us know how is your vision coming to light? How are you already bringing it out? And anytime that there's something to do with support that we can provide, the On Purpose with Purpose community would love to support you in that. And again, check out the open house week and experience what these action hours will really do for your energy and your productivity, because they're amazing. So we look forward to seeing you there, Carol. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.